bankruptcy. So that is really the purpose of this slide, is to give you some peace of mind that if you're intending to file for bankruptcy, there's nothing wrong with it. Chapter 7 is a straight or liquidation bankruptcy, which means that if you have any non-exempt assets, they're converted to cash and distributed to your creditors. If you don't, your creditors get nothing. You're absolved from responsibility for your debts, and you get your financial fresh start to go ahead and hopefully not file again. Chapter 13 is what we call a wage earner's bankruptcy. Generally, you must be a person, an individual with a regular source of income, and depending upon your income, you can file either a 3 or a 5-year plan under which you repay a portion of your debts, and the rest of the debts are discharged, or you're absolved of responsibility for paying them. Many times we have clients who, for whatever reason, have 3, 4, 5 vehicles. Okay? Under Arizona statute, which governs all bankruptcies in the state of Arizona, you cannot use the federal exemptions. Under Arizona statute, a debtor is entitled to 1 vehicle with a value not to exceed $6,000. Other items here, your household, which means your homestead, a house, condominium, cooperative, mobile home, in which you live, is exempt up to $150,000. Wearing apparel, your normal clothing, engagement and wedding rings up to a value of $2,000. That is something that you can protect under Chapter 7. Life insurance proceeds, child support payments, those are also exempt assets, so you don't need to worry about them. Any 401k or ERISA qualified retirement plan assets, those are yours to keep. Right. If you paid a security deposit to your landlord, that can't be taken by the trustee. Tools of your trade or equipment are protected, non-exempt, and 75% of your disposable earnings. For the majority of Chapter 7 filers, the means test is not a problem. As you can see from the table up here, the income is not very generous, but it's, for most of our clients, substantial enough to shield people from the need to file for Chapter 13. Any non-exempt asset, which means any asset that doesn't fall into the category that we just spoke about, is subject to turnover or seizure by the Chapter 7 trustee for conversion to cash and distribution to your creditors. So if you have investments, stocks, bonds, other mutual funds, non-retirement assets, cash in excess of $50 in your pocket plus $300 in the bank. That seems like it's pretty draconian, and in fact it is, but you cannot game the system by trying to hide your cash. If you do, and you tell me about it, I won't be able to file your petition. So please be aware of that. If you own an interest in a business, that generally is subject to seizure by the Chapter 7 trustee. If you receive an inheritance within 180 days after the date you file your petition, that too is subject to seizure by the Chapter 7 trustee. Boats, RVs, ATVs, motorcycles, non-exempt real estate are all subject to seizure by the Chapter 7 trustee. The magic word in a bankruptcy is discharge. Well, what debts can I discharge and what debts can I not discharge? An important distinction here is that secured debts, in other words, debts that are secured or backed up by collateral, such as your house or your car, a boat, whatever, those debts are discharged. However, the collateral is still subject to seizure by the trustee. So if you do not make your payments timely, then you may find that your collateral is repossessed. What other debts can be discharged? Well, your medical bills, business debts, personal loans, credit card charges, some taxes, not all. There are very specific regulations as to what taxes are dischargeable, which we will discuss with you if it's applicable to you. And then co-sign your guaranteed debt. So if you owe a debt with your brother, let's say, that debt will be discharged as to you, but then they may be able to come after your brother for it. So if you still have a house that's underwater, which means you have negative equity or you owe more than the house is worth, you may want to give up that house. If you do, the mortgagee cannot come after you for the deficiency on your loan. If you incur a debt by fraud or under false pretenses, that doesn't go away because you were driving while intoxicated or driving under the influence. That is not going to be discharged. If you have perpetrated a fraud on someone, that debt isn't going to be discharged. Also, generally honest people pay their domestic support obligations, so those are not dischargeable under Chapter 7. The first point is you must plan for bankruptcy. You don't go into this willy-nilly or helter-skelter. Do not incur any additional debts when you're planning to file bankruptcy, which means don't run up luxury items on your credit cards. The bankruptcy court will look at that and say, no good. Don't take cash advances on your credit cards within 70 days of the filing of your petition. I want to file bankruptcy. What do I do next? You can pay for our bankruptcy fee and the court's filing fee by using a debit card, by using monies that you've borrowed from a family member or friend, by using money that you were using previously to pay your unsecured debts, or from your tax refund. The way that you establish an attorney-client relationship with Tysman Law Group is to contact us, set up an appointment, come see our intake professionals, and engage us.